5 years ago, I was scrolling on Facebook and I came across a post from a girl that I used to be best friends with when I was in the first grade. And the post said, "What is your earliest childhood memory of experiencing racism?" And she said, when I was in first grade, my best friend came to school one day and told me that she could no longer be my friend because I was black. My heart broke into a million pieces when I read that, and it really, really hurts to know that something so traumatizing and awful that happened to her as a child is attached to me, even though that was not something that I did, something that I wanted. I loved her. She was my very first girl best friend, and that was not a decision that I made. My dad called the school, and it was such a huge ordeal. He tried to get me put in a different classroom away from her, and I can't believe that something so evil and terrible that happened to her, her very first time ever realizing that she's going to be treated differently because of the color of her skin, has my name attached to it. The way that my dad even found out about that is my earliest childhood memory. I don't remember anything else before this day. I was sitting at the dinner table with my family, and I would talk about her, but I would never say her name, or I would use a fake name. My mom knew that I was friends with this girl and that she was black, and she would tell me, never tell your dad. And we're sitting at the dinner table, and I accidentally slip and say her name, and my dad looked at me, and he was like, "Is she black?" And I said, "Yes," and he slapped me across the face. That was so scary. I was terrified.
Procreating with a rate disease is crazy. Reminds me of this video I did a couple of weeks back of this woman. Similar thing in that video. In the case of this woman, the one that was spoken about in this video, she was married to a rate deceased man, but that man was not the father of her children, right? So her children really hated the man, but she stayed with this man because the deal was good. And I said in that video that it's crazy to me how there are people who would, with their koro eye, go and women choose to be in relationships with dangerous men, thinking that they are 100% exempt from the danger that this man perpetuates, the dangerous ideologies that this man has. How I operate personally, if I go on a date with you, right, as a guy, and I see you treat the waiters at the restaurant or the service providers at any establishments that we go to, if we go to an establishment, if I see you treating them badly, being rude to them, that's it. We can never be in a relationship. How you treat people speak volume of the kind of person that you are. I'm not of the mindset that, oh, as long as you treat me nice, that's it. No, I don't want someone who treats me nice because they like me. I want someone who treats me nice because they're genuinely a nice person. So yeah, when I come by videos like this of women that'll be talking about how there was one that a Nigerian woman, even from TikTok, and guys, I know I'm derailing, but please bear with me. Nigerian woman on TikTok talking about some
my man is not a woman beater. Maybe if your boyfriend beats you, he might not beat his next girlfriend. You understand? Just the same way my ex-husband has remarried. His wife might have a different story. Maybe I'm too special for my boo-boo to raise his hand on me. I'm a woman of virtue. Maybe I have developed myself enough that he will not try it on me. And he loves me so much that there will be no reason for him to beat me. So I'm so sorry that I am going to be getting the better part of IVD. If you want to hit it on you, hit it on you. Yes. There are some of we women that get the better part of a man. Some of you will crack the bone. So maybe you guys have been cracking the bone, but I am going to milk the better part of him. Sorry. I'm not sorry.
Guess what? This man in question used to by his ex-wife. Allegedly, according to some netizens and according to allegedly the family member of this woman in question, they are saying that he pushed his ex-wife in fire and that's how she died. Allegedly. But this is someone that this woman chose to now be in a relationship with. And she comes online to defend him and have his back and talk about he might have laid hands on other women in the past before her, but she's special. The point is, it never makes sense to me. Situations like this never make sense to me. How people choose to be with moving, breathing, pooping red flags. It speaks about your character if you choose to be with someone who is a terrible human being. Yes, it speaks about the character of this person, that he's a terrible human being, but it also speaks about your character if you choose to be with someone like that. That just says you two are just as bad as he is. You don't care about people. And I don't like people who don't care about people. And I'm not going to feel bad for you if and when this person chooses to turn on you. I'm not going to cry for you and hashtag justice for impute your name on social media if and when this person chooses to treat you exactly how they've been treating other people. If this person chooses to do to you exactly what they've done to the people before you, things that you have seen with your own two eyes that they do to other people.
I grew up in a household where we couldn't watch TV shows that were black. Like, I didn't watch That's So Raven. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch The Proud Family. I loved Little Bill, but I wasn't allowed to watch it. And so it would come on half hour before my dad came home from work. And if he came home even like a little bit earlier, I would have the remote ready in case like he walked through the door, I could change the station. I had to pretend like Jump In wasn't my favorite movie because my dad would have beat my ass. I hid everything from him. He has no idea who I am to this day. Like, I never was ever transparent with my dad about anything. I continued to hide everything from him my entire life, and it's really crazy. I have two parents on this earth that are alive and breathing and don't know me or anything about me.
Racism is thought. Nobody is born a racist, and I think this video is again another example proving this. I see some people in the comments saying that, oh, she's making the situation about her. I mean, I don't get where those people are coming from because the situation is kind of about her. And she's just sharing her perspective and how it affected her. I mean, come on, like we know that the black girl here in question was greatly affected by this, but she too got affected by this. She also lost her best friend, not to mention her dad laid hands on her because of this friendship. I can only imagine how traumatizing that must have been for her, not to even mention how confusing that must have been for her, not really understanding why she couldn't be friends with that girl just because of the color of her skin. I remember finding out about racism when I was 17, 18, thereabouts, and it was confusing for me. I could not wrap my head around the concept. So imagine someone younger than that, a child, trying to figure this out and understand and, you know, logically think about it. It's insane. So yeah, two parties were greatly affected here, the little black girl and her. They were both a victim of the insanity of racism. And I think it would be unfair to say she in question is trying to play victim or playing victim. No, she was a victim, same way her best friend at the time, the little black girl, was a victim of the idiocracy of racism. And no, I'm not saying that what they experienced was the same or that this experience impacted them the same way, because that would be insane to say. At the end of the day, people choose the way they want to live their life. It's just so sad that he had to drag other people down with his insanity. They always don't be keeping it to themselves. They be wanting to pass it on to their kids, and they be wanting to make other people's lives miserable for these ideologies that they hold.